Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Paragon hero build. I am Sylphin, and today we're taking a look at Riktor. Now, why are we looking at Riktor? Simply because the newest hero to Paragon is coming out on August the 23rd, and I wanted to take a look at a support build for Riktor. Now, Riktor is probably like the biggest support hero, the support tank in the game so far. And some people are making parallels between him and this new hero that's coming out, Narbash. Now, big disclaimer, Narbash is a support caster, and, well, Riktor is a fighter. Now, I'm not exactly sure what they're going to classify. Well, no, he's going to be a caster. That's exactly what he's going to be. Narbash, I'm talking about. So he is a support, and Riktor is a fighter. Now, I know that in the release video that he does melee a lane minion very briefly in the video. So I think that's why people are thinking that he's melee, in which case he's a melee support caster, which is quite different than what we've had so far. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he plays out and how this all really works out. But anyways, on to Riktor. We are doing a support tank build, so a lot of cooldown reduction so that he can use his pull, his E, his silence, his ultimate, a lot more here in these team fights, and be much of a more support hero, where he uses abilities to kind of control how the battle works. I'm going to have to rotate mid lane to simply defend this, so let's see here. Whoa, on my way mid. But this Twin Blast didn't need to go as well. Oh, he's placing down a ward. Good boy. Now, if you have not played Riktor before, well, given that intro, you know that lots of his abilities will have some crowd control on them. The very first ability, and arguably the most kind of influential of Riktor's abilities, is going to be his Q. His very first ability that we got here is going to be his Whiplash. It's a pull. It pulls an enemy target, interrupting channeled abilities and dealing 100 energy damage at range 1,000 units. That range does increase when you, the longer you use it. So, the more you upgrade it, the more it. So I'm going to pull somebody here and it doesn't even reach. So there's a good example of how the range is pretty pathetic here in the early game, and it simply gets better later on. So the second ability I went for was his E ability. You could certainly go for your right click because it does have CC on it. It does have a slow, but I went with my E simply because I wasn't in the position at the time to really make anything happen. I don't think we're really going to do anything with Riktor, Chimera. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like the team's kind of all over the place. I mean, the enemy team's doing a really good job. Like, because of our wards, we aren't able to see everything that's happening here. Kind of quite scary here. Don't want to engage too hard here. Very nice boulder. We are playing with some good characters, or some good heroes, my friend. And it looks like that they have a Grim that's AFK, and they're still being this effective. What a enemy team. I'm going to see if I can try to come over here. So let's see here. Him and Riktor both let me die, so alright, well, let's see what we can do. I don't think very much, but there is that Chimera coming, so I'm going to have to be careful here. Probably going to have to go back because of our health and mana, so yeah, we're going to go back here. Have to get this map. Oh, nope, not with all this happening. Let's pull in this Chimera, see if I can get a very nice body block off, ladies and gentlemen. That is another way how you can use Riktor. He has a very big body, has a very big actual in-game character, so you can use that body block fairly successfully. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, the first card we are going to get is not a Toon Barrier, a Lord's Ward. Wards are absolutely incredible. I don't have any upgrades for it. We are not touching it simply because it has no upgrade bonus, and there are other cards that are going to be much better here in the early game. This Elder Mage Amulet will give us a lot of health here in the early game. That 300 and 400 from our upgrade here is going to actually be quite a bit in the early game. That's a lot of health in the early game. So we can afford to get a little bit of damage, hopefully increase our last hitting, hopefully, whoa, increase the advantage that we get here in the early game. So I didn't really explain the other abilities very well. His E is an AoE that does a pretty good amount of damage, 76.5 at this level for a total of, sorry, over 5 seconds. It's good when you're right in the thick of battle, doing that little bit extra damage there to the enemy team. His right click is pretty powerful. It's called Shock Therapy. The next whip deals a slow and increased damage here. So I'm going to use that actually now on this Chimera. Keep him in place here. Use my E into my ultimate here. Let's actually try to pull him close to us, see if we can finish him off. No, we can't. And it looks like we are dead. Oh, looks like I'm getting away. Oh, nope. Never mind. Definitely not, and walked right into that Gideon ultimate. A nice engagement on the enemy team. A very good job on that from that Gideon. Gideon's going to be a prime target for our right click, our Shock Therapy, because it does deal that silence. We'll be able to silence him out of his ultimate, and we have our Q to pull him out of his ultimate and our ultimate to silence him. I simply didn't really occur to me at the time to do that on that bit. So that's some of the utilizations that you can use as Riktor. Wasn't a very good engagement there. Try to make it better next time. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I failed to record an absolutely wonderful engagement. Chimera came in, we stunned him and this Greystone with our ultimate, able to secure oh, here we go. This is going to be another example here of how I can use my bowl here to go, but I severely forgot about my health. Absolutely poor play here. Forgot about my health there. So it looks like this Grux and Twin Blast will be able to secure the kill there on that middle tower. Apparently not. Okay. So we're just going to have to live with that. Definitely upgrading, ladies and gentlemen, your Q and your right click. Definitely your Q, because it increases its range. That is absolutely huge, so you can pull people from even a greater distance away when you are actually, well, you know, just right in their tower, on defending your tower, etc. So these two here are going to be absolutely huge. Look at that. 400 health in the early game is going to be very, very strong. With a little bit of damage, that will really help us quite a bit. So here we are in this left lane here. Let's see if we can make something happen with this Chimera. Let's use our silent and slow here, so maybe we can't do as much. Let's use this here. I'm going to use my ultimate here to stun him. Hopefully this can make this Murdoch commit here a little bit. I need that damage, but looks like I'm cut off from my team here. Not much I can do. That Murdoch wasn't doing as much as I wanted to. Didn't. Weren't able to burn down that Chimera there. Wasn't quite as successful. The next card we are going into is going to be our Pendulum of Lords, but with how much damage we are taking, I really, really want to get some sustain going here before I can even, you know, I need to be alive in order to use my ability. So we're going to go here with this Tempered Plate simply because Chimera is doing a lot of damage, that Greystone is doing a lot of damage, and that Rampage here will be big. 3v1 in terms of damage type, so we're going to get this tempered plate here just for a little bit of physical armor.
As you can see, I'm trying my best to keep these guys away from me from that Murdoch, but not much able to do. Not feeling like that Murdoch's doing very much damage at all. So that is okay. No, he's doing okay. So just simply have a good enemy team there. Pushed up that left side very much while the enemy team only took down one tower there. Pretty good trade. Now we're really going to be able to get into this. That Greater Guards are going to really help against that Chimera, doing a very large amount of damage there. 7 card power, ladies and gentlemen, taking down the middle 2 towers, and definitely going to be very nice here getting these guards. Now, we certainly are going to go into this Pendulum of Lords for that cooldown reduction. It's going to be huge. I would have preferred here to go into the Quantum Casing. And you know what, in retrospect, I actually probably should have. The Quantum Casing there gives us that physical armor. I could have used that little bit of upgrade instead of putting it all into there, but I think that is okay. Now we can go into the cooldown reduction and be a little bit more just more useful, being able to use our abilities more often. Alrighty, 5 card power going to finally go into that Pendulum of Lords. We really need this cooldown reduction to use our abilities more often. Silence that Gideon out of his ultimate, really make sure that we do some good work here. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to secure so many kills. 30 health left. Chimera on me, able to use all my CC to really control how he did his thing. Really, really powerful here. Trying to record these things, but software is kind of, it's being really silly. You know, I hit my hotkey to record and it doesn't work, so I just sit there spamming this thing and it just doesn't work, and I'm messing up my plays because, yeah, so my apologies here. I'm going to try to really do a better job. That physical armor that we did get, though, absolutely monstrous on that Chimera, dealing much less damage to us. And now that we have 2,700 health, it's really, really, really nice here to get that much going on. So let's see if definitely not. So I'm going to use my hit a minion. Not what we obviously wanted to do, but that is just how it works sometimes. There is this. Oh, and here's a. Don't want to go into too much. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's try to save this here. So there is my ultimate stopping that Gideon. I'm going to try to. Holy smokes! Look at this damage, ladies and gentlemen. I need to be very careful here. Trying to use my Q there to maybe finish off the Greystone. It looks like, does he have his ultimate? Yes, he does. There you go. We got simply pummeled. Way too much damage there to survive. Wow, what a good job this enemy team is doing. They are doing a fantastic job. 1 man down, being this effective. Really, really good job. 4 card power, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing off this Pendulum of Lords, going to go into our next card. Now, that Gideon is doing a good job, but I am keeping him out of his ultimate, so I'm really tempted to go into this tempered plate, and I'm actually going to do that. Let me know down in the comments if that was a bad call here. I don't have very many guard tokens. Now, that is a very bad crux here to this build, and my building it. And I don't have more than 1 Pendulum of Lords. Otherwise, I would actually really like getting another Pendulum of Lords as well. That would be preferred for sure. Alright, let's try to see if I can make something happen here with this Chimera. No, not able to. This is what happens when I actually preemptively hit my record button, and then of course nothing really happens. So, oh my god! So close there. Let's see, is he gonna taunt? I'm not sure why this Twin Blast does not choose to go. He said retreat, so fine, I'm going to retreat. But, I mean, what else are we going to do? I mean, really. Here's this Rampage here. Whoa! Look at that. Very nice. Oh, wasted my ultimate. I wanted to make sure to kill him before he gets that. Health regeneration kicking in. So a little bit of a waste, but should be okay here. We could certainly, on my way mid, which certainly should be collapsing here on this Chimera, so let's do that. Let's see if I can get him. That was a pretty good pull there on that rampage. So let's see here. Let's do this. Slow him. I'm gonna pull him out from the jungle there. No, I don't want you to go down there. And there we go. Able to dictate where exactly he goes. And there we go. So he will be having his health regen kicking in, but too much damage for him to handle. There we go. Feeling much, much better. Defend left lane. I'm gonna say on my way left. And definitely needing some help here. I don't know if I am able to solo a Gideon. Probably not, but this Murdoch is coming on by, so let's see if that Gideon was smart enough to retreat, and he was. So it looks like we won't get that pick on the Gideon just quite yet. Stop this lane where it is just a little bit, but that's a waste of my time. Let's go elsewhere and be where we actually need it with our team. 6 card power, ladies and gentlemen, going to definitely be upgrading the snot out of this tempered plate here. Going to get that guard that we very much need and a greater health. So now our Aegeus is finally really going to be kicking in. That Aegean Scorch is going our Aegean Scorch is going a tanky turret build, doing a very fine job of it indeed. So definitely, he is somebody that we definitely need to make sure stands alive. 7 card points. Jeez, able to get this tempered plate here. That is the end of our tankiness here. We do have this Toon Barrier, but it does have some health here. Actually, sorry. We will be going into the Toon Barrier, but I want to get even more cooldown reduction. That we are doing a pretty good job of really shutting down that Gideon, so I'm really not too worried at this point. Using our abilities more often is really starting to show up. Able to pull enemies away from our friendly heroes, able to pull running away enemy heroes back into my team very, very strong. So E is really not doing very much. It's simply just a little bit of damage there in the team fight, but the right click, slowing down enemies that are trying to chase down my my allies, definitely quite powerful. So let's try to make something happen here with this Chimera. Let's pull him in. Let's make sure that he is nice and stunned, so he has no health regen, or his health regen is reset back to 0. But looks like I'm going to pull down this alien again. Do I even have a friendly team member here? I do not. What is going on? So, map awareness here. My teammates are just all over the place. Where the heck was my teammate? The Twin Blast off on his own little realm. Murdoch, I guess he was in that fight? Didn't really see him, but definitely feel like a little bit alone, but not going to worry about that. Not going to worry about that. Doing alright. Trying to just be an annoyance to the enemy. You have that very strong combo with Q into your ultimate, followed by your silence and slow from your right click. Very, very powerful. Should be able to really do a lot here. There you have it. Finally, a good engagement using my Q there to kill that Greystone, trying to just be a body in the fight. Picking up a red orb along the way somewhere. Woo. Sorry for the little lack of commentary there. I was really trying to just focus on doing a good job for once there. 6-card power. You know what? At this point, let's use a little bit of a lull there. The lanes aren't pushed up, not going to do much, so let's go back and get the 6-card power here. Advanced Chrono and this guard, really getting a ton of physical armor. That is too much, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely have misjudged this a little bit, so you know what? Here, we can definitely do something that looks a little like this. We're going to get rid of this tempered plate and actually replace it with one of these tuned barriers. So let's do exactly that here. Discard this and go with a tuned barrier here. Let's go for this one. Definitely is a little bit more powerful here. So 2, 8, 2, 6, and then, oh, look at that. Definitely miscalculated there in the math department, so we'll have to get 2 greater barriers, and then when we get some more card power, we'll get a greater health. Just because getting a little bit too much energy damage is actually going to do energy armor. Sorry, it's too much of a good thing for sure. 5 card points, ladies and gentlemen, getting this greater health. Gonna now go into this last tune barrier, getting all of that energy, sorry, all of that health, really focusing on that, because this Lord's Ward is going to start not being too useful here because the enemy is simply in their base. We know exactly where they are, so we won't really be needing the vision. And victory. Build. Oh, it's okay. I'm missing some key cards. I'm missing some key upgrades, but I have seen this build work fantastically on, I believe, RG Sauce. Go check him out. I believe he just did a kind of a support tank for Riktor. So, ladies and gentlemen, the build is, it should be, if I had the cards, something like this. So, well, let's go here onto my deck. So, ladies and gentlemen, the build goes something like this. Here is the Lord's Ward, giving you a little bit of that mana that you really need when you're using all of your abilities, and that health. Cooldown reduction, of course, is very important. You're going to really start hard into the fully upgraded bonuses because you're not upgrading this at all. You're going straight into the Ultimate Gem because that gives you that 100 health plus that 100 lesser health upgrade and that 200 health fully upgraded bonus. That's a lot of health in the early game. So, I mean, just getting those early 9 card points, you're already at a pretty big advantage. With that little bit of damage from that and the Lord's Ward, or sorry, not the Lord's Ward, there's that little bit of damage here on the Ultimate Amulet, 19, I believe. That's going to help you quite a bit. The next card that you should go into is this Pendulum of Lords with all of that chrono. Then you go into another, actually, you go into another Pendulum of Lords with chrono. That gives you all of your cooldown reduction, because that's a 10 and 15, that's 10, 20, plus another 10, 20 on the other Pendulum of Lords with 6 2-point chrono upgrades. That is all of that's your 40% cooldown reduction. That is all you need. A little bit of health on both of the Pendulum of Lords, 200 and the 150 from both. Pendulum of Lords in the mana department will really help you there. So I mean, you still have, you know, that 200 health on the 2 Pendulum of Lords, and that 400 on the health. That's 600 health that you're getting before you get your 2 barrier cards here. You want to keep 4 in reserve so that you have one with a lot of guard and the other with a lot of health, so that you can do you know, if there's a very heavy energy damage comp, you do a fully, you know, you go heavy into the greater barrier here, and then you go into just a little, you go into the tempered plate with more health on it. Kind of get what I'm saying? So you can really even out how much resistances you have according to the enemy team's composition. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. These tune barriers here should have something. It should look something like this. One of them should have something like 2 greater barriers and a greater health, and the other one should have something like 2 greater healths and a greater barrier, just so you can have a little bit of a balance to pick from when you're, you know, when you are carding for the enemy team's composition. There you guys have it. Lord's Ward into the Elder Mage Amulet, into 2 Pendulum of Lords with those all 2-point chrono upgrades. Very, very powerful there. Throwing out all of your abilities incredibly fast into your Tempered Plate and Tuned Barrier for all of that health and energy damage. Let me know down in the comments what you guys believe. This is the support Riktor. He works really well when you can really get a good sense of when to use your stuns, your silences, your pulls. Once you get a good sense of when you can use that, I'm not necessarily there too yet. I make some good plays, but not all the time. He's a monster. He really is. Sometimes I feel like when I come against a really good Riktor, it's just like, huh? What did he just do? It's pretty crazy. So there you guys have it. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Please let me know why you disliked it. Please share it with the community, and of course subscribe. If you found this video useful, or you simply enjoyed the video, please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Social media on the next screen. Till next time, like always, take care.